But let's get into what you sort of hinted at earlier. There was a controversial holding call on James Bradberry late in that drive. It was a 3rd and 8, I believe, with about 2 minutes remaining in the game. And I have that play up that we could bring up to see exactly what that holding was. So here it is. JuJu Smith-Schuster go in, does a little zig route. James Bradberry holds him, and then Mahomes overthrows him by a long shot. And they're saying that this is holding. They didn't
right there. Right? He did. I don't think he was
nothing
grabbing
moves
it.
though.
It looks like his shirt doesn't move.
Nothing moves.
I think his fingers were clenched.
Like, even this, I don't see
right there. He's not. I don't think he's holding him. And he just has his hand on his back.
Right. And I could be wrong. I thought defensive holding was, because this isn't pass interference. It was behind the line of scrimmage.
The ball was uncatchable too.
Well, that would be if pass interference. Pass interference is if the ball is uncatchable, they won't throw it. But and that's the whole thing. You're allowed illegal contact is you can't like block a receiver or like touch a receiver within 5 yards. And so that's why it's not pass interference. They didn't call it, and that's not like illegal contact or whatever. It was behind the line of scrimmage. And I've heard people say, well, if he didn't hold, he may be able to get to the ball. JuJu Smith-Schuster wasn't even on his route before the hold. He was
not slowed up by the guy having his hand on his back.
Because he wasn't even going downfield. He was going a zig route, which is inside and you break out. There was no impeding of the route whatsoever.
No.
I've watched that play. Believe me, my reaction to that was ridiculous because once again, for the second year in a row, there was a controversial holding call that literally cost the other team the game. Last year it was the Bengals on the linebacker Wilson.
Hard to say it cost them the game, but they would have had almost 2 minutes to try to mount a drive and to get at least a field goal.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it again. They had one timeout in that game. They had one timeout left too, so they would have had a timeout. But who would know? Who knows? Because it would have been 4th and 8. They would have kicked the field goal. There'll be about 2 minutes left. Jalen Hurts, at that point, he's had deep throws to A.J. Brown in that early in the game. Then had that beautiful throw to Devontae Smith wide open. He's running the ball very well. Jalen Hurts had 374 total yards.
No, they were moving the ball.
4 total touchdowns.
They moved the ball. The offense was okay in the second half.
The offense was great.
The offense was okay. It was good.
This was one of the best Super Bowls.
I think they probably would have gotten down there into field goal range with that much time left.
This was one of those.
They only had 8 seconds when they got the ball.
Yeah, and then it's kind of embarrassing at the end too. Jalen Hurts
pretty smart for the Chiefs not to score that touchdown.
Yeah,
he could have scored. He could have right there.
No, I agree with that. But it was kind of embarrassing at the very end of that game. Jalen Hurts, I think he was at like the 30-yard line. He steps up, put all he has into it, and it goes like 50 yards.
I know.
So
he didn't get close to the end.
Doesn't have a great arm, it seems, because he puts everything into it. It goes 50 yards.
Maybe he was tired.
But the main problem, okay, let's just say, because James Bradberry came at the end of the game saying, oh yeah, I grabbed his jersey. I think that could be he doesn't want to complain because then he'll get fined. Because the NFL, apparently you can't criticize referees even if they get plays wrong. But the main problem I have with the call is for the most part, they let the guys play.
There weren't many penalties in the game.
If you let them play, you can't let something as minuscule as that, because it didn't even impede the route. Because the route was he goes up, he does a zig route, comes back up for a touchdown. Mahomes overthrew him, and people say, oh, well, he impeded the route. JuJu Smith-Schuster didn't even break. He was going inside, and that's where the hold happened, and he broke outside. And then the flag was thrown by the time I believe the ball was thrown. So who knows which hand they were calling? So I have more problem about when you go into a game like that and you're letting them play. And by the way, it seems like only Chiefs fans are the ones that are saying that it was holding. When this broke, the internet went crazy. You had LeBron James and Kevin Durant and James Harden. You had a bunch of players from even different sports coming and saying that wasn't a hold. I don't like that call in that moment. And that's the problem I have with it. You called it in that moment. You made it about you, not about the fact that, yes, and there could have been a hold, probably a hold on James Bradberry, on JuJu Smith-Schuster early in that game. It might have been on a 3rd down where he actually did tug him, and that should have been a hold. So it could have been JuJu said, hey, James Bradberry, he's grabbing, he's tugging, look out for that. And then all eyes are on him. So they're a little bit more, see some contact, you throw it. So I don't love the placement of that call whatsoever.
No.
And that's the biggest problem I have with it. You let them play most of the game, and then you come in here and throw a flag on something that most refs, most spectators and commentators and refs would say, that's not, that's too, it's a ticky-tack play. You know, you don't really know. And so you threw the flag. Could it be right? Maybe. Is it the right thing to do at that time? A lot of people will say no. Chiefs fans will obviously say yes because it benefited them. But most spectators would be like, it's the wrong time to throw that flag then. So I don't love the call. I mean, did they get it right? I don't know, because I've seen that play 4 or 5 times. I have not seen a play where I see someone grab the jersey and tug it, like severely impeding their route. JuJu Smith-Schuster didn't even break for the actual play yet. He was just doing the fake, where it looks like you're going inside, and then, you cut back. I didn't see much in there, but, you know, I've yet to see an angle where it shows James Bradberry is holding him, not putting his hands on him. It was the same thing last year. Wilson, I guess, hooked his arm around the back of Cooper Kupp.
That one looked more like holding than this one.
That was probably closer to holding than this one.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked more like it. I don't think it was, but it looked like it. This one didn't even look like it to me.
The one last year,
I mean, the guy had his hand on the guy's back. He was not, his jersey didn't move.
But I think it could also be that right hand. I'll play it again. It could be the right hand of Bradberry, not the left hand where it shows the back of it. It could be right there, not when he turns around. And we're going to see a closer angle here. It could have been that right hand, maybe. But
back it up again.
I think we have another angle that we've coming up in a few seconds here. But James Bradberry, you can see this on YouTube if you're watching this on Anchor. That right hand.
Right there.
But here's the thing, though.
I think that's the one that they think he called.
That's what I'm thinking, too, because guess what? You see the flag come in. The flag comes in there. The flag comes in extremely late.
Yeah.
So I don't know which hand they're focusing on here.
It's a shame.
But I
made it an even more exciting game. Probably would have gone to overtime.
And what's crazy about that is last year in the Bengals-Rams Super Bowl, it looks like Wilson could have hooked him and then moved Kupp around to impede him from making that catch. This one had no signs of any impediment because the whole point of that is you fake inside, you break around, and hopefully you're open. So the route wasn't even going to the inside.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that whatsoever. And the ball was thrown 15 yards ahead of him.
Another reason, the flag came in late, the ball was overthrown, right?
Yes.
So the fact that it was overthrown, maybe the ref thought, well, he was held, so he didn't get to where the ball was going.
Could be.
But the ball was overthrown.
But here's the thing, though. If they called pass interference, that's when I guarantee you, everyone would say, oh, that's not pass interference. Because pass interference would be if it's a catchable ball and you stop him from being able to catch it.
No, but they'll say he was slowed down. The holding slowed him down, so it was a timing play.
Yeah.
The ball would have been right there if he wasn't slowed down by the hold.
And that's where I think even more people will be mad about this. This is a ticky-tack play. Did he hold him? It's a close to call. By the way, Greg Olsen, he's going to drop down because Brady's going to come in next year. He's done a phenomenal job with Fox. I mean, I don't have the call he had, but I don't know who the head ref was that they talked to. I'm forgetting his name. But him and Greg Olsen, they sort of went back and forth on the broadcast. Greg Olsen's like, it could be a hold, but I mean, you don't call that in that situation.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Greg Olsen, I mean, throughout the year, I've listened to a number of Fox games because I would watch the Bucs games mainly for the show. He did a great job. And it sucks that he's going to have to drop down to the second team when Brady comes in next 2024. But
I still don't understand why Brady is not going to be there this coming fall.
Who knows?
It's kind of strange. There's something he's got up his sleeve that he's thinking about.
Maybe.
Yeah.